this time. Of course, you were there last time. Forgot your name. Samar. Yes. So there are a couple of new faces. Do you mind introducing yourself, who you are, and what you do here? Are you working? Are you studying? Something about yourself, so that we get to. You want to Varun. Good up. How about you? Okay. Hmm. So you're also studying here? Wonderful. How about you? What's your name, you say? Surbit. Okay. Person was playing the drum. Someone might be playing the drum.
Yeah, I think it's not the LED. It's max. Then the phone goes.
Audio. Is he the host back? Or he may have to mute people because Hare Krishna, those who are online, it's a humble request. If you could just mute yourself. Someone might give a name. Yes. How about you? Which part of India you're from? Bihar. How about you? Oh, two Amazons. Yeah. Yes. हाँ सब सब हिंदी जानते हो. अच्छा. Okay. So thank you all for joining. Just to introduce myself, my name is Arjun, and I did my master's here. I did my bachelor's in India in electronics. I came here for my master's. I was in New Jersey. I did my master's there from 2017 to 2019. And then 2019, I came here to work for T-Mobile. And then I switched to Microsoft. So last 5 years, I'm with Microsoft. So pretty much in the same boat, having come to America, not for studies. It's only for this. We said this last time also. ऐसा कोई नहीं, कोई ऐसा विरला ही होगा जो पढ़ाई के लिए आता है, ऐसा पैसे के लिए आता है. We all come for that dollars. The more the conversion goes up, the more we are happy. So we are all pretty much on the same boat. So that's pretty much of who I am. Came for my masters and now I am working. In our previous session that we did, for those who are online and those who are also sitting here, we primarily spoke about the four defects of human existence. Four defects that are common to humans, that are common to even the animals. And these problems are such that it's not the problems that we talk about is very small. The problems that we talk about is not having a job, immigration problem, uh, and so on and so forth. It's very small in comparison to the bigger problems that hold true even for all species, including the animals. Now, the animals may not have problems like finding a job, so they may not consider it a problem. They may not have an immigration problem, so it's not a problem for them. Someone living in India, for him, immigration is not an issue. So problems from the Vedic standpoint, problems are those problems that are common to everyone, irrespective of whether you are a human or you are an animal or whichever species you are. And we also spoke as to how there are four problems that way that are true for someone's mic is on. Can you ask him to mute? So we spoke about four problems that hold true for everyone, irrespective of whether you are a human, you're an animal, you're whichever species you are in. Four big time problems that are common for everyone. Those four problems that we discussed were, what were they? Old age, disease. Yes, birth, death, old age, disease. There's practically no one who can refute that. Animals have birth, we have birth, and it's a problem because we went into the depth last time of as to how birth can be a problem. Death is a problem. ऐसा कोई नहीं है जिसको मरना है. नो, नो वेयर विल फाइंड एनीवन सेइंग मरे मुझे मरना है, बहुत दिन हो गया, बहुत साल हो गया, मरा नहीं, मुझे भी मरना है. कोई बोलता नहीं है. No one wants to die. No one wants to take a birth. No one wants to be diseased. When was the last time you heard someone saying, well, I want corona? No one says that. No one wants to be diseased. And no one wants to be old. You have so many stopgap solutions to that. Facelift, you have wrinkles, you have creams for that. We were speaking about how in India you have the daily soaps के बीच में वो ad आता था Fair and Lovely का. Fair and Lovely, hi handsome. You would get those ads. Why? Because no one wants to be old. But it's just forced upon you. Right? So these are problems that hold true even for the animals. Animals also have birth. Animals also die. They also get diseased, and they also get old. And the humans also take birth. They also die. They also get old, and they also get diseased. So it's a problem that holds true irrespective of whichever species you are in. Like for example, a human may say, "For me, the problem is I'm not getting a job." Like just for example, the animal may say, "Well, that's not a problem for me because I don't want a job." So traditionally, problems are those problems that hold true for everyone. We are just circling on the same point that it's a problem is a problem when it holds true for everyone, irrespective of whichever species you are in. And from the Vedic standpoint, these are the four big problems: birth, death, old age, and disease. But it doesn't end here. The problems just keep increasing. Apart from these are the big time problems, but you have subset problems that are underneath this, which cannot be neglected. What are these problems? Problems caused by the mind. Mind is a big time enemy. It's the same mind that motivates you, and it's the same mind that demotivates you, right? जैसे हिंदी में बोलते हैं सब मन का खेल है. Everything happens in the mind. So that mind, problems caused by the mind is also a big time problem. Then you have problems caused by others, our roommates, our college friends, the people whom we work with, our boss, uh, Amazon, Microsoft, our boss. Well, with all due respect, no one likes their boss, right? We are all there in that position. It's only because काम करवा के लेना है. कभी कभी काम करवाने के लिए गधे को बाप बनाना पड़ता है. So we no one likes our manager, no one likes our boss, but we are just there because we have to. So problems caused by the mind, problems caused by others, and problems caused because of environmental conditions, natural disasters, right? So these are subset problems. Misery is due to one's body and mind, which is called as adhyatmic. आत्मिक, आत्मा बोलते हैं ना, आत्मा से है आत्मिक. जो पीड़ा मन से होती है या शरीर से होती है, वो है आध्यात्मिक. Misery is caused by the body and mind. Then is second, misery is caused by other living entities. Adi Bahutik, other people who causes problems. These are also problems that cannot be neglected. We cannot say that only birth, death, old age, disease is the problem. Yes, those are the big time problems, but these are also problems by the mind, by others, and because of environmental, natural disasters. So now, if I have to ask you, what are the problems caused by the mind? Just think. Problems caused by the mind. Anxiety, yes. OCD, yes. Yes. Depression, stress, yes. Now we cannot neglect these things. It's a problem, hey. And now, as we are probably progressing, we find depression is more common. Probably when our parents were there, it was also there, but it was not spoken as much as it's spoken now. And it cannot be neglected. It's a big time problem that needs to be addressed. And that's why you have psychiatrists, you have people, medical counseling, people who can speak to them, right? So those are problems caused by the body and mind. How about problems caused by others? What are the problems caused by others? Theft, robbery, animal attacks, mosquito, insect bites. रात को सोते हैं कान में आके जो गाना करता है, right? It's always that mosquito. It sings in our ear. When we get up, we don't find that mosquito. मतलब इतने जन है मेरा ही कान मिला के गाना गाने के लिए. It's problems caused by other living entities, right? Mosquitoes, theft, robberies, gun violence. We're come on, we're living in America. Gun violence is every day. The last time we were talking about in Texas, Gun violence is so much that I know there are some friends of mine there. Now, in India, honking is very common, right? It's just normal. The moment you land in any airport of India, airport के बाहर निकलेंगे सब honk करेंगे. It's very common. You don't find honking in America, and there's no need to because it's pretty regulated. But in Texas, if you honk, it's a big time. I wouldn't use the word crime, but it's taken in a very offensive manner, and it's the place where gun is legal. There's too much gun violence. Someone honks, उड़ा दिया. And it's problems caused by others. You cannot deny it, right? So you have problems caused by the body and mind. You have problems caused by others. And then you have miseries or problems caused because of natural disasters. Tell me some natural disasters that have occurred. Earthquake, yes. What are the others? Tsunami. We are living in America. Hurricane Katrina, Irma, this, that. Every year the name changes. Event is the same. You're from Florida. Florida has so many. Florida has a history of these things. These are natural disasters. We are living in Seattle, rains, flooding, fire, forest fire. I remember last year, I think last January, Australia had forest fires, right? These are natural disasters. How can we negate them? So we have big time problems, birth, death, old age, disease, and then there are subset problems, which are problems caused by the body and mind, problems caused by others, and then problems caused by natural disasters. So you see, problems caused by the body and mind, you have headache, stress, depression, body pain, suicidal thoughts. You see, IIT is the place where probably from the youth standpoint, there are so many suicides that have happened. People not being able to cope up. Problems caused by the body and mind, other living entities, insect bites, arguments, virus, animal attacks, theft, robbery. Then you have tsunami, earthquakes, floods, tornadoes, drought. So these are subset problems of that. Misery is caused by the body and mind. Teen suicide rates have tripled in the past 25 years. Academic pressure. Probably in America, it's not felt to the extent it's felt in India. But in India, we see it's very competitive. We get into that rat race. And oftentimes, I remember even when I was doing my engineering from Mumbai, you're taught so many things that are practically obsolete. 25 years back, it has become obsolete. Like it's no longer relevant, but you're still taught that. And the aim of learning is not because you want to learn, it's just because you want to get more marks than your friend. And that's technically not learning. Kushwant, did I get the name right? Yes. Thank you. So oftentimes we see it's very different in America compared to India. In America, it's more project oriented. It's more learning, something that is useful in our job and the future. And in India, it's more of बस करना है. हो गया पढ़ाई वढ़ाई हो गया वो साल खत्म हो गया बुक रद्दी में दे दिए ओ उससे पैसा कमाए. So is that really education? So in India, oftentimes we find, especially in the IITs, because the competition is so high, there are so many suicides that happen. And this is a scientific stat. This is a modern, this has nothing to do with Vedic scriptures. The teen suicides have tripled in the past 25 years because of academic pressure. Problems caused by the mind. Problems caused by other living entities. You have arguments, you have theft, robbery, you have gun violence, etc. And then you have problems caused by natural disasters, floods, droughts, earthquakes, tsunamis, Hurricane Irma, Katrina, this, that, and so many others. So these are subset problems of the big time problems. Now, these are the problems of life. Now, there are two ways of approaching this. First is you look from the standpoint of science, which does provide solution. We are not denying that. Science definitely provides solution, has advanced way more than what it was probably in the 1970s. Science is advanced big time. But are the problems, are the solutions that science is providing, are they long lasting? Are they permanent solutions? Or are they stopgap solutions? We spoke about getting old. Now, what's the solution for that? There's no solution. There are stopgap solutions. You put some cream, some facelift, this and that. It's a stopgap solution, but is it really solving the problem from the root? No. We have done last time. You have a boil in your hand, and if you just do, it may give some temporary relief. अच्छा लगेगा. Are you actually solving the problem? Maybe not. You just pop in a few medicines. Are you solving the problem, or is dialysis going to solve the problem? Maybe dialysis is a better option, but is it actually solving the problem? Probably not. It's just a stopgap solution for it. So science definitely has solutions, but they're stopgap. It's again going to come back in different flavors. We had diseases 100 years back in the form of Spanish flu, and then it never ended. Spanish flu went, then you had rabies went, then you had clauses, then came cancer, then came. I remember in the 2000 I was in India, you had H1N1 swine flu, right? Now that now you have coronavirus, so something else will come. That's the nature of this world. एक जाएगा दूसरा आएगा. So are we solving the problem? Probably not. It's giving us stuff. Hmm. Although we have advanced in medical science, still our plans of good health and happiness are thwarted with new and newer diseases. Hmm. And we spoke about this. Who's the personality on the top? Muhammad Ali. We all have heard of Muhammad Ali, the big time boxing champion. When he was there, there is no one who could practically defeat him. No one could defeat him. No one even stood a chance. That guy was so powerful. But what happened? At the end, he was detected with Parkinson and he couldn't even hold a cup of coffee. You see, to the right, he's holding the Olympic, the baton, and he is not even able to hold that. You see his another arm shake. That person shake the life of others. He's not able to hold a cup of coffee. Now, what happened? Why is science not able to solve this problem? Why is it coming up with only stopgap solutions? Why is it that there's no solution for death? Why is it there's no solution for diseases? Why isn't there no solution for any of these things? Science has advanced so much. Why aren't there any solutions for this? The solutions are there, but they are pretty much stopgap. He couldn't lift a cup of coffee here. And these are great personalities. They have all the wealth. It's not that their bank balance is like our bank balance. Huh? Our bank balance, if you go to Mukesh Ambani, it's it's fun time for him. The number of zeros that he has in his bank account, उसका आधा भी करेंगे तो अपने पास उतना भी पैसा नहीं है. These people are stinking rich. They have all the fame, name, reputation. They can go to the best hospitals, to the best doctors. But why is it they're not able to solve these problems? The only reason is there are no solutions for it from the standpoint of science. The solutions are pretty much stopgap. They're pretty much temporary. Can someone read this? Someone with a loud voice, can someone read this? Isn't this one more type of problem? We spoke about multiple types of problem. Isn't this one more type of problem? Pollution. Hmm? The other day I was reading somewhere on Instagram that the AQI, air quality of index of Delhi, has become so bad, it's like smoking 13 cigarettes a day. You read that? Oh, you're from Delhi. It's pretty bad. I keep going to Delhi. My parents stay there. And with all due respect, the air quality is bad. And it's not just Delhi. I mean, throughout India, Mumbai is no less. Other places are no less. It's like smoke. Can you imagine 13 cigarettes a day? It's too much. It's too much. You can imagine what's going to happen to your lungs. Going to get destroyed. This is one more time. Oh, they did?
Yeah.
These are big time problems. Why are we not able to address? Is it because science is not advanced? Well, it has advanced. Is it because paisa nahi aa rahe, bahut paisa hai? So solution क्यों नहीं मिल रहा? Science has invented bombs that can blast living bodies into pieces. No one can create life. We can't create life. We take lives I mean, not we, but those who are into gun violence, they take lives. But when was the last time a life was created? Possible. Which clearly shows there is something that is binding us from doing things that a supreme controller is doing. There is someone who's managing these things, जो अपने हाथ में नहीं है. When it is going to rain, when it is not going to rain, whether the sun has to come up or not, whether the moon has to come up or not, what time it has to come up, these are not within our hands. Which means something or someone is there who's controlling these things. The other day I was reading that this was again an Instagram reel where one small boy is talking to his mother, and he's telling his mother that, my dear mother, the gravity is placed so well, 9.8 meter per second square. It's so perfect. Had it been anything less than 9.8, the universe would have collapsed. It's like a ball, it would have collapsed. The reel was viral in many places. Had it been anything less than 9.8, it would have collapsed. And had it been anything more than 9.8, still the balance of the universe would not have been perfect. There is someone who's making sure that this gravity of not just Earth throughout the universe is maintained. How is it that the planet is just floating? I throw this up in the air. What's the probability that it's going to float in the air? Not possible. It's zero. There is no probability. I throw a ball in the air. Cricket World Cup is going on. When was the last time you saw Virat Kohli hit a six and ball is up in the air? Niche nahi aa raha. Doesn't happen that way. So how is it that the planets are up in the air and they're not falling down? How is it that they're floating? Is someone holding them? No, we can't see it. So what are the things that are happening that we are not able to perceive, but we can pretty much figure out that there is someone controlling them. So creating life is another example. We can take lives, but we can't create lives. So what are the temporary solutions? Someone gets old, hair is white. Either hair is white or there is no hair. These are the only two solutions. Uh, if hair is white, you can at least put hair dye. If there is no hair, then you cannot practically do anything unless until you are we are very rich. Then they will do hair transplant. I remember if you see in the old videos of Kapil Sharma, the comedian, Indian comedian, if you see his 2005, 2006 videos, he was bald. There's practically no hair. And now you see, there's nice hair, there's nice beard. अरे उसके पास पैसा है. अपने पास बाल गया तो ना पैसा है ना जेब में कुछ है. We are going to be bald. Lifelong we are going to be bald. But is that a permanent solution? Probably not. It's a stopgap solution. There are wrinkles. What's the solution? You do a facelift. Back pain, headache, so on and so forth. Advil. We take tablets. Advil. If you are from India, Crocin. But are they permanent solutions? No, they're just stopgap. They're just stopgap. Breathlessness, oxygen tubes, ventilators. It's just a stopgap solution to make sure the person comes back. But pretty much they're not permanent solutions. We can patch up, but it's not the reality. And this is pretty much what we are speaking. It cannot stop old age. It cannot eradicate disease. It cannot eradicate life. And it cannot eradicate death. The four big time problems that we're talking about, science pretty much has no answer to it. And it's not something that science has evolved in the last 20 years or science has come up only in the last 20 years. Science has been there for so many years. Isaac Newton was there probably 500 years back. Einstein was there maybe 100 years back. The big time genius who are so intelligent, even they couldn't come up with a solution, right? Our intelligence probably is nowhere in comparison to Einstein or Newton. Even they had no solutions to this. Until now, no one has got a solution. And in the future also, there'll be no solution. There'll be stopgap solutions, but there is no permanent solutions. And we as human beings are considered intelligent, right? We are more intelligent than any animal species. So if we are intelligent, why are we going only for stopgap solutions? Why are we not exploring permanent solutions? Is it that there are no permanent solutions? Or is it that there are permanent solutions? We are not aware of those permanent solutions. Here we see luxuries and comforts offered by science and technology cannot satisfy the soul. You have a famous Hollywood celebrity, Jim Carrey, right? There's one famous quote of his where he says, I want everyone to be famous and rich so that you understand that's not the answer to life. Recently, there was a video of Virat Kohli where Virat Kohli in that thing was saying that I have all the money, I have all the fame that I want, but still there are days where I'm fully unhappy. You can search, it's there on YouTube. Now, Virat Kohli is someone people die to become. Paisa hai, his wife is a big time celebrity. He has a big probably mansion. He has crores and crores of money. For every Instagram post he put, he gets crores and crores of money for that. People die to become such a personality. And he's saying he's still not unhappy. Recently, the Friends star, Matthew Perry, who departed by drowning in his apartment, in one of his um, transcriptions or one of his clips, he was saying that when I die, I don't want people to remember me as a Friends character. I have heard it too much in my life. I don't want people to remember me as a Friends character. I just want people to remember that I was a good person. This fame, if fame is something that attracts, why is it that someone as famous as him does not want to be remembered through his work? Why is it that Virat Kohli, after all this, is unhappy? Why is it that Jim Carrey, who has so much success, so much money, is still not fully happy? Which only shows that there is something that the soul is looking for, which material assets are not able to provide. The heart wants something more. Dil mange more. The heart wants something more, but it's still not getting it. See, this is a train. It's pretty much the journey of life. Now just see this photo and then just see the another photo. Did you observe something? Person is missing. So train is like a journey. It's the journey of life. Everyone has a destination. If you're going from Mumbai to Delhi in a train journey, there are so many stops that are going to come. You're going to have Rajasthan in between, you're going to have Gujarat in between, you're going to have Bharatpur in between, then you're going to have Delhi, Mathura, Vrindavan. So many places are going to come. Not everyone is going to Delhi. Some may want to get down in Gujarat. And in train journey, you're going to meet different people. But oftentimes, 99% of the times, the people whom you meet in the train, उसके बाद कभी मुलाकात होने नहीं वाला है. It's a one-time journey. You just meet them and then you speak, you have a conversation, that's it. After that, you never meet them. Likewise, human life is like a train journey. In that train journey, you meet different people. Some are from Microsoft, some are from Amazon, some are from Meta, some are from this, some are from that. You meet people in different journey, and then you see by the time you're 40, 50, 60, those people to whom we were close probably 25, 30 years back, now there's no connection. We spoke about this last time. Slowly the connection goes off. And once this human life is done, then you take another life and then gone. We have no idea whom we were in the past life. And it's not that the past life doesn't exist. You have so many scientific research to prove that point that so many people, after they have been born, they remember their past life. You can go to Times of India. So many articles that will speak about afterlife. So it's something which science has proved and you have practical experience of that. So in the Mahabharata, it is very beautiful. Here it is said, who is foolish has been described in Mahabharata. Those who are just mad after petty pleasures of life, indulge in sinful activities and invite ghastly future, sees everything is temporary but still is blind to truth, breaks God's laws due to uncontrolled senses. We all know things are temporary. It's flickering. Aaj hai, kal nahi hai. Right? The biggest asset that we have it today, tomorrow we are not going to have it. We know it. At death, what happens? All the money is there in our Bank of America. It's there in our Chase, Wells Fargo, ICICI, HDFC, SBI. It's all as it is. एक फूटी कौड़ी लेके नहीं जा सकते. Don't you think there is something more to life that needs to be explored? If making money, if fame, name, fame, richness, if these are the answers to life, why is it that we can't even take 1 cent when we die? There's no example of anyone who has taken even 1 cent. You slog for 8, 10, 12 hours. If you're Narayan Murthy, you will slog for 70 hours. That's, I, I don't I don't accept that point of 70 hours. Of course, he has his own. Every person has different opinions. I don't think any one of us wants to work 70 hours. But what is the use? Let's take Mukesh Ambani. He has billions of dollars on his bank account. Now, when he is going to depart this world, he cannot take even $1 with him. Everything is as it is. All the effort that you put Reliance. Now in Mumbai, he has opened a new mall, Geo Plaza. What is happening? After he dies, yes, it's giving luxury to people, but from a personal standpoint, after the person dies, he is not able to take anything. इतना मेहनत किया और कुछ भी लेके नहीं गए. Isn't intelligence something where I put in hard work, I can take something? Why do you work? You work because you're going to get money. If I tell you that you work and you're not going to get any cent, how many of us are going to work here? कोई काम नहीं करेगा. Even if it is Amazon or Microsoft, if you're not going to be paid, no one is going to work there. We work because there is some return on investment. Likewise, the whole human life, we are working to get that money, to build that house, to build that car, which we cannot take. सब छूट जाता है. अपने शरीर को भी लेके नहीं जा सकते. Can you imagine the predicament? Leave alone money, that body that we are so happy about, that body also we cannot take. So isn't there something that needs to be explored more? Something that can be taken after we depart this world. And that's what the Vedic scriptures talk about. The Vedic scriptures do not discourage you from making money. Krishna never says, Paisa mat kamao. He tells Arjuna, you fight. Whatever your duty is there, you do it. If you have to earn, you do it. If you have to maintain your parents, do it. यहाँ पैसा कमा के इंडियन बैंक अकाउंट में भेजना करो. Krishna doesn't stop that. But he just encourages to add the ingredient of God in the center. I was saying this the other day that we are living in a generation where tires are tubeless, t-shirts are sleeveless, cooking is fireless, food is fatless, relationships often are loveless, politics is shameless, youth are jobless, right? Everything is less. And the whole jigsaw puzzle is not making sense because God is not put in the center. When the ingredient of God is put in the center, the whole jigsaw puzzle of life starts making sense. So here we see that it's a quotation from the Mahabharata. It's not something that is concocted. Those who are just after pleasure of this world, but not look for the ultimate, something that can be taken after this life. And that is intelligence, right? Something that you can take after this life. It's called as the goat mentality. Bakri. If you see in India, बकरी को क्या करते हैं? घास देते हैं. 10 बकरी लाइन में खड़ी रहती है और घास देते हैं. The bakri is eating घास and it is saying, oh, the grass is so tasty, so sweet, so tasty. And the goat is seeing that a goat in front of him is being killed, but he's thinking, wo marega, main nahi marega. He will die, I will not die. It will not happen to me. This is goat mentality. And this is our mentality pretty much. He will get coronavirus, I will not get. अरे उसको हो जाएगा मैं I'm safe. It will not happen to me. He will get old, I will not get old. I am fine. He will die. मेरे को भी टाइम है. अभी भी जय आई एम स्टिल जवान. बुढ़ापे के लिए टाइम है. We are convinced it happens for someone else, but it will not happen for me. But the ground reality is everyone is struck with a thunderbolt. Everyone dies, everyone takes birth, everyone has an old age, everyone gets diseased, everyone has problems by the mind, everyone has problems by the body, everyone has problems by others, everyone has problems because of natural calamities, and all that we have are temporary solutions, which are stopgap solutions. So this is the goat mentality. Usko hoga, mujhe nahi hoga. Now we come to the point that the Vedic scriptures talk about. Are there solutions to this? Yes. Are the solutions only stopgap? No. Are there permanent solutions to this? Yes. So basically, three things we are talking here. We spoke about the real problems of life, which is birth, death, old age, and disease. And then we spoke about the subset problems. Then we spoke about how science is only giving temporary solutions to it in the form of facelifts, in the form of uh, creams, in the form of, if heart is a problem, you have a pacemaker, you have ventilators for oxygen. These are stopgap solutions. But is there a solution where once and for all I can remove birth, death, old age, and disease? Answer is yes. अगर एक साथ ये चारों निकल ही गए तो फिर I don't need stopgap solutions. Why not catch the ultimate prey? Why not have the ultimate solution where all of these can be eradicated at one go? And that's what the Vedic scriptures talk about. The first point, or the two most important points that are addressed here, is first, why am I suffering? We all are suffering. At some point, everyone has anxiety. We have all suffered at some point, not just disease. Probably we are young, so we don't know what old age is. But we have all had disease. We have all suffered in different ways. There have been near and dear ones who have probably departed, who have been in the hospital. And this is just from the medical standpoint. There are so many others, accidents, hand fractures, so many other examples like that. We are all suffering. The common question that is always asked is, why do bad things happen to good people? Right? अरे मैं तो हमेशा अच्छा कर रहा हूँ, सबका भला कर रहा हूँ, तो मेरे साथ बुरा क्यों हो रहा है? If God is there, why is it that bad things are happening with me? And why is it that those who are doing bad are leading a perfect life? And I am doing everything good, but I am having all the problems and all the calamities and all the miseries in my life. So first, why am I suffering? And second, what is the goal of life? Is goal of life only to make money? पैसा तो anyway बनने वाला है. Hook or crook, everyone makes money. Whichever company you are in, everyone makes money. Making money is not a big deal. Everyone makes money. Everyone has a house. Eventually, everyone buys a car. Everyone is doing this. But is that the ultimate goal? Only to keep back while you die. All your car is there in the garage. All your money is there in your Bank of America. Your family relatives are all there as it is. In the Vedic scriptures, there is a very beautiful verse that describes this. It says, Dhanani bhumau pashavascha goshte nari graha dwara janas smashane deha chitayam paraloka marge karmanu go gachati jiva ekah. It describes what happens when a person dies. Dhanani bhumau. When the person dies, traditionally in the olden times, they would dig and they would keep their wealth inside, underground. So now you may say, अरे हम तो ये करते नहीं. Underground नहीं रखते, लेकिन पैसा तो बैंक में है. It's pretty much the same thing. It's as it is. They would keep it underground. You're keeping in Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America. It's pretty much the same thing. Dhanani bhumau. Pashavashta goshte. In the olden times, they had cows, calves, bulls. It would be there in the shed. You may say, अरे मेरे पास तो है नहीं. अरे गाड़ी तो है. Your car is there in the garage as it is. Dhanani bhumao pashavashta goshta. Car is there in the garage. Nari graha. When a person dies, the wife, in the Vedic customs, the wife comes only till the door. She doesn't come to the cremation ground. She comes only to the door. Janha smashane. Those relatives of yours, your cousins, and so on and so forth, they come only till the cremation ground. Your wealth doesn't come with you. Your car doesn't come with you. Your wife doesn't come with you. Your relatives cannot come with you. Deha chitayam. Your body can come only till the chita, only till the fire. You can't take even your own body. Can you imagine how brutal material nature is? That body for which you work all your life, 12, 14, 16 hours a day to make money, to upskill yourself with more technologies, Azure, DevOps, Java, Python, SQL. You upskill, which is great. You work 14, 16, 18 hours a day to make that money, only to keep it in the Bank of America when you die. Is that real intelligence? Intelligence is something that you can take even after this lifetime. So you can't take your wealth, you can't take your car, you can't take your house, you can't take your wife, you can't take your relatives. Arey Baba, you can't take your own body. देह चितायाम परलोक मार्गे कर्माणुगो गच्छति जीव एक। जीव परलोक जाता है केवल एक चीज को लेकर, वो है अपने कर्म। ओनली थ्रू हिज एक्टिविटीज, व्हाट ही हैज डन, he goes to another planet. Another destination is decided based on the mood that he has, based on the consciousness that he has, based on the thoughts that he has. So that is real intelligence, to gather things that can be taken in the future. We are not against wealth, we are not against house and car. Those are good, but only that is not the ultimate good. Get my point? So these are the two things. Why am I suffering? And what is the ultimate goal of life? Why do we suffer? Can someone read this? Some. Now, this is a very basic example to understand. Imagine, जैसे इंडिया में वो मेला होता है ना, बड़े बड़े मेले होते हैं। मान लीजिए माता पिता एक बच्चे के साथ गए हैं और बच्चा बिछड़ जाता है। We all understand Hindi, right? We all follow Hindi. Imagine you go to a big setting, a big mall or whatever, and you have husband and wife, and they have one child. And that child, because of the crowd or whatever, is now lost. And now someone finds that there is a child. Now that person goes to the child and says, "Oh, do you want a chocolate?" The child may have the chocolate, but will still end up crying. Do you want a toy? He will have the toy, but after 5, 10 minutes, he will again cry. Do you want something to eat? He will have it, but again he will cry. Now, what is intelligence? Is intelligence just giving him chocolate and toys, or is intelligence connecting him back to his parents? It's to connect back to his parents. When he is connected back to his parent, all his necessities are taken care of. He will get the chocolate, he will get the toys, etc. The crying is not because he wants the chocolate. The crying is because he has been separated from his parent. When he goes back to his parent, the parent provides everything and that's it. There's no more crying after that. This is our problem. We have been separated from the parent, that is the Supreme Lord. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says he is the father. In fact, he says, I am the father, I am the mother, I am the maintainer, I am the everything. He says, Pitahamasya Jagato Mata Dhata Pitamaha. He says, I am the father, I am the mother, I am the maintainer of everyone. But that God who is the maintainer, we have separated ourselves just like a child separates himself from the parent. Now we are there here in this world. And now we have been given the chocolate like iPhone, chocolate like Mac, chocolate like 150K job, chocolate like Tesla car, chocolate like so on and so forth. Why is it that even after all these, there is still anxiety? There is still unhappiness. Why is it that Virat Kohli has everything, but is still openly, publicly saying he's unhappy? Why is Jim Carrey, who has everything, publicly, openly saying he's unhappy? Are these the solutions to life? Intelligence is when that child who is connected back to his parent, that is God. Once that connection happens, then there's eternal happiness. If you just keep giving an iPhone 14, 15, 16, this, that, it's like giving the chocolate. But the child is again going to cry because that's not what the heart is looking out for. That's not what the soul is looking out for. The child, all it wants to be connected back to his parent. So this is the first aim and objective, to be connected back to our parent, that is the Supreme Lord. Can we do it at the end? So here we see material problems, spiritual solutions. Aligning with God helps us overcome sufferings. Now, why am I suffering and what is the goal of life? Now, this as far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned. Now, you see, from this end to that end, do you observe something? Right from the ground, there is something that's happening here. What's happening? Aging. Yes, you got it right. Someone is aging. You see a small child just born in this world, and then he gets 3 years, 5 years, youth, teen, adult, whatever, and then he becomes 40-year-old, 50-year-old, and then old, old, old. Then he's from 2 legs, he becomes 3 legs, and then gone back to skeleton. And this cycle keeps on happening. The Bhagavad Gita here very beautifully explains. It gives a very practical example. Just like a person changes clothes. Like now you're wearing green. Now you go home, you'll change something. Just like we change our attire, just like we change our clothes. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita gives this example. People have been changing bodies from one body to another body, just like we change clothes. As a person puts on new dresses, giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Once you become old, the body is no longer useful. Back to square one. Again, you take a book. And this for loop continues. For loop, while loop. Which loop? Both can. I'm not a coding guy, so whichever loop. It goes on back and forth. It starts from here and keeps going on. So what are the things that we are seeing? We are seeing a birth. We are seeing death on that side. On this side of the spectrum is birth. That side of the spectrum is death. We are seeing old age, and naturally there's going to be disease. Never was a time कि कोई इंसान 80 साल जी लिया और कुछ बीमारी था ही नहीं. All four are practically seen here. And Bhagavad Gita is giving this example as a person puts on new garment and gives up the old one. Similarly, the soul accepts newer and newer bodies, giving up the old and the useless ones. Big time question. What happens to us at death? इंसान जब मर जाता है क्या होता है? No one has an answer. Right? What happens? Have you ever thought on those lines? मरने के बाद क्या होगा? Okay, I'll just ask a very simple question. How old are you? 28. Where were you 29 years back? There's a question mark, right? Where are you going to be 100 years from now? There's a question mark. This is primarily what the Bhagavad Gita answers, which the science has not been able to answer. Simple questions. If you were born in 1995, where were you in 1992? And if you're going to die in 2070, where are you going to be 2071, 2072? What is these changes happening? Who's orchestrating it? How is it that I have got this body? How is it that someone is a male, someone is a female? How is it that someone is born in one part of India, someone is born in another part of America? Who is deciding these things? How is it that someone is born on the street and someone is Anant Ambani? कौन decide कर रहा है? How are these things even working? Is भी lottery की लग गया तो लग गया? Probably not. There is someone who's orchestrating it. Seems like my battery is low. My charger is there. Where can we connect? ना तो आएगा नहीं. हाँ, that is also fine. You can take it. So what happens to us at death? You see four pictures. The person is same, right? You see all the four pictures. Person is same. What is different? The vehicle is different. All four pictures, person is same, vehicle is different. What is the example of Bhagavad Gita? The person is the soul, that is you. You're not the body. You're the soul. And the vehicle on the different bodies is this. In one life you have a body of a Rolls Royce. Another life you have a body of a helicopter. And another life you have a body of maybe a motorcycle. The person is same. The body is same. And we can practically see whether you are not the body of the soul. Let's do a quick exercise. Take a listen. Point your nose. Point your nose. Point your ears. Point to your head. Point your body. Now point to yourself. Okay. Let's do it one more time. Point your nose. Point your ears. Point your head. Point your body. Point to yourself. Both are same. Are you the body? You're not the body. Shall I prove it how you're not the body? If you're the body, when a person dies, we say Mr. X passed away. If you're the body, you're still there, you're still lying. What is it that has passed away? We say that Mr. X passed away. What has passed away? If you're the body, hands, nose, ears, everything is there. ऐसा क्या चीज है जो पहले था अभी नहीं? It's a very basic test. We all say this. When a person dies, what do we say? बाकी सब असत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है, बोलते हैं ना? तो बोलने के लिए तो बोल लेते हैं। भगवत गीता वही बता, बाकी सब असत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है। काश पहले ही जान लिया होता। अब इंसान मरने के बाद यदि बोले तो इंसान तो चला गया। अब होता यूं है कि जो लोग बोलते हैं वो भी समझ नहीं पाते, बस नाम के लिए बोल लेते हैं। इवन दे डोंट टेक इट सीरियसली। We say it, बाकी सब असत्य है, everything is false, the only reality is the name of God. It's only matter of saying. So if we are actually the body, the person is still there after the person departs. It is a classic symptom. It's a practical proof that you are not the body. There is something that has passed away that goes to another body, which is the soul which you are. Go to the other slide. This is what we are talking about. The spirit soul or the soul. It's called a spirit because it's a short acronym for spiritual. Soul is spiritual. The spirit soul or the spiritual soul goes from one body to another body. Now the big question: on what basis is the soul or what is the next body? Okay, karma. We spoke about that. Karma. Based on the activities that you have, the next body is the body. Now, for example, Bhagavad Gita gives this uh, very basic analogy. If someone all his life is into, now we are in America, I wouldn't hesitate to say this. Pornography is there everywhere. Nobody can give this example. If someone is into that field all their life, taking off their clothes. Bhagavad Gita says, because you have the tendency to shed off your clothes every single day, the next life you're awarded a body where you have no clothes. And those are the trees. The trees have no clothes. Winter, rain, snow. We have heater in our house. The trees don't have anything. So the bodies that you see around, they're also living. No one can deny that a tree is not living. They are living. So how is it that they have become a tree and you are a human? Something that's happening. How is it that they have got the body of a tree? Bhagavad Gita backtracks. And now this holds to for different. If someone is there in water 24 hours, every single day, if someone is only there in water, swimming pool, 24 hours you're only there in the swimming pool, then the law of medical nature works such that next time you're given a body where you can be in water 24 hours. The law of nature works such that, okay, if you get happiness, God is not forcing. तुमको मजा आ रहा है. You are getting happiness by shedding off your clothes. You are getting happiness by living in water. So let me give you a body where it's conducive. You are also happy. I am also. It's not that it's being forced. So bodies are determined based on the activities that we do. And Bhagavad Gita is crystal clear on this. So here Krishna says, in the words he says, Yam yam vyapi smaran bhavam tirjitam te kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitam. He says, this is the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti. Who is the son of Kunti? Arjuna. That state he will attain without fail. Whatever we think at the time of death is what we get in our next. And the Vedic scriptures explain, the Puranas, the Padma Purana explains that when a person dies, whatever he has done throughout his life, like a movie, it's telecasted in front of him. Only that person hears. पूरे जिंदगी में बचपन से लेकर अंत क्षण तक क्या क्या वो व्यक्ति ने किया है, good, bad, every single thing, like a 3 hour Bollywood thriller. He sees the whole movie. Krishna gives him the whole picture of what the person has. Now, Bhagavad Gita says, whatever you think at the time of departure is what you will get.
हेलो प्रभु जी, आपका ये आवाज दूर है तो ठीक से सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है.
This is what you think at the time of departure. Eternal nature awards to a body. Let the sea exists for satisfaction. And at the same time, Bhagavad Gita explains, for those who think about the Supreme Lord, those who think about Krishna, for them, they go back to Krishna. There is no boat, there is no there, there is no pole, there is no. And this is the famous Bhagavad photo with Krishna driving the chariot. जैसा देखिए फर्स्ट पेज वाला कवर अर्जुन है पीछे रथ में बैठे हैं और कृष्ण चल रहा है तो कृष्ण भगवान है अपने कोटि के ब्रह्मांड के स्वामी he is driving the chariot. It's very interesting when Krishna was driving the chariot. Can you imagine what his age was? He is driving the chariot for Arjuna. Can you imagine what his age was? Can you guess? Yes, his age in that one year. Let's shoot a number. 30, 60. 16, 16, okay. 80. 86, okay. How 26 of Bhagavad 26? Yes. 100, yes. 95, 25. I believe. Oh, much is one of them. Also, okay. Good. Minus 50. Yes. 250. Okay. 100. Yeah, 30. Yes. 6. Yes, 20. 0. 90. Yes.
80.
80.
50.
55. यार आगे बाकी अभी भूल गया कितना बोला मैंने बहुत कम बोला था मुझे पढ़ाने का मतलब ये सैलरी के लिए जी बोलिए I had told earlier 16 but now I want to change the French to 25 ये सब हिंदी में केंद्रीय होता है ना ये 50 होती है प्लस कर दिया जाए it is explained
He looks like 16. At 96, he's charismatically driving a chariot. That is God. Where old age doesn't act. It's not that he had some facelift, wrinkle free. He's 96. People don't even live till 96. And even if you live till 96, there are no teeth, there are no hair. You need 3 legs to walk. And here this person is driving a chariot. This is Bhagavan. This is God. Yes.
Stop sharing that.
Or we can do it that way. We can just continue. In the interest of time, we can just continue. We can just continue. Next. Law of karma. Abhi ye jante hai karma. Now this karma is into 2 types. Instant and delayed. What is instant? किसी को झापड़ मारो वो फट से वापस झापड़ मारेगा. Instant karma. You go and slap someone on the street. If he is a human, he's going to slap you back. मैं ही मिला क्या सुबह से? He's going to slap you. You throw a stone at a dog, the dog will run away. You see the difference? You throw a stone at a human, he will come and ask you a WH question. Why? Why me? मैंने क्या बिगाड़ा? And if you don't give an answer, he will slap you. Instant karma. But the dog doesn't do that. Now there is a delayed karma, where you do something and you get the fruit later. I'll give you an example of a delayed karma. सब महाभारत में धृतराष्ट्र सुने ही है. धृतराष्ट्र, शकुनी मामा. वो इंडिया के वो सीरियल में होता ना शकुनी मामा, ऐसा वो ऐसा करते थे. हे भांजे. देखा इंडिया के सीरियल में होता है भांजे. It's very fun. Like you would have those on the DD National and all those things. B.R. Chopra, yes, B.R. Chopra. We have all seen it. कोविड में तो वापस टेलीकास्ट हुआ था रामायण महाभारत एक्सेट्रा. It broke all records. और कुछ था ही नहीं, और कुछ चल ही नहीं रहा था, तो देखो. So now you see in महाभारत you have धृतराष्ट्र. आप सब जानते हैं धृतराष्ट्र यानी अंधे थे, देख नहीं सकते थे. Now if you see the life of Dhritarashtra, 100 years back, or 100 lifetimes back, not 100 years, 100 lifetimes back, he had a nature. When the ants would crawl, he would take a blade of grass and he would poke the eye. And उनको मजा आता था. Sarcastic pleasure, sadistic pleasure. मजा आता है. When he would see that they are getting tortured and it's painful for them, he would like it. He would take a blade of grass and he would poke the eye on every ant. मजा आता था. It is explained after 100 lifetimes that karma came back and he became blind. Now that's delayed karma. Instant karma, jhapad, delayed karma in the form of Dhritarashtra. So in our life also, when karma comes, it's not necessarily it's from this lifetime. That karma can be from some other lifetime also. Out of nowhere we see, expect ही नहीं किया रहेगा, and we get like a very good job offer. Or out of nowhere, something good happens. We would have not even expected. It just came all of a sudden to us. It's not all of a sudden. It's something in the past that's now fructifying. So this karma is of two types. It's immediate and it's delayed. And as our great Newton has said, every action, it has an equal and opposite reaction. As you sow, so shall you reap. Jo bhi kiye, it's like a karma is like a boomerang. It will come back. Whether you want or not, it will come back. Either it will come back instantaneously or it will come back delayed. Instant and delayed. Ek jhapad marna hai, and then you have a delayed version. Next. Yes. Can someone read this? Someone who has not read. Yes.
Human form of life, we have got to develop and lead
Responsible lives. But now there are 4 big time sinful activities. First is meat eating. Now, meat eating is considered probably the most horrific and most horrible. To eat the flesh of another living entity to whom you cannot provide life. It's a very basic fundamental thing. You cannot provide life to someone. Who has given you the right to kill? And from the Bhagavad Gita standpoint, it is very beautifully explained that when you are eating meat, for those who are into eating meat, if you take them to a slaughterhouse, how many of them can even stand in a slaughterhouse? Not possible. But that same thing, when it comes in your plate, you forget everything. It's the same animal whose throat was slit. You see how pathetic it is in America. Even for milk, even to milk a cow, if you see in America how pathetically it's brutally tortured. The hands and legs are tied. Forcefully milk is taken out. In America, in some other countries, they give small electric shocks to the cows so that it can provide milk. In Japan, they feed alcohol to the cows. It's horrific. It's pathetic. Is this advancement of civilization? Where you're torturing an animal just to satisfy your taste buds? And that animal which is dead on your plate, while dying, it was tormented and tortured like anything. And now that is in your plate and that's what you're having. How can you expect that the mind will be sane? Doesn't work. So the Bhagavad Gita explains there are 4 big time sinful activities, 4 pillars. First is meat eating. Second is intoxication. Nasha karna. To smoke, alcohol, drugs, weed, and so on and so forth. You can do the imagination. We are all youth. We know what are the types of intoxications that happen. What are the others? What are the others? Gambling, playing with money, rise and fall of money. Money is Lakshmi. To play with Lakshmi, to play with money is not considered very good. You have meat eating, you have intoxication, you have gambling. And the 4th and very, very pathetic is illicit sex, illicit connections. To get into a physical relationship with the opposite gender when you're not married or outside of marriage. It's only in marriage that it is encouraged. But if you're not married or outside of your spouse, these are considered 4 big time sinful activities: meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex. And the Bhagavad Gita very beautifully explains when these 4 things are done, in a place or by a person, that heart is not in a position where it can understand spirituality. These are the 4 things. When eradicated, that's when the building of spirituality can be built. If the base is not strong, then it's very difficult to build this building of spirituality. So Bhagavad Gita time and again explains when these 4 things are first given up: meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex, then one can understand the permanent solution as to how one can eradicate birth, death, old age, and disease. So to have the solution, there are some prerequisites to give up these 4 things. Can someone read this? Someone who was not read. You want to try? Repeated birth and death. Janma mrityu ke samsar mein goes back and forth. Next. You see something here? Go to the previous slide. You see something here? To see to the left, there is a person into meat eating. And in the next life, he who is into meat eating, next life, that same species ends up taking up his life. He who has ended up taking the life of another species, in the next life, that circle comes back. Like a boomerang, the circle comes back. It's never ending. We can never think that I have killed this animal. Now someone may say, "Arey, मैंने तो नहीं मारा, ओ कसाई ने मारा, मैंने तो नहीं मारा, I just went to KFC and I had it." You want it, that's why he's killing. If you don't want, he will not kill. There is a demand, that's why he's ready to supply. Demand and supply go back and forth. You want it, that's why he's giving. Next. This is pretty much the same thing. This is what we were talking about. The exposure magazine or shedding one's clothes ends up a tree body where they have no clothes. Yes. If we obey God's laws following the principles of austerity, that is chanting God's names, sacrifice, knowledge, and association of those who are saintly, then we can attain the supreme destination: no birth, no old age, no disease, no death. So now we are coming to the permanent solution. How to eradicate birth, death, old age solution. Which are the big time problems? So austerity, that is chanting the names of God, associate with saints, knowledge that we are talking about, and sacrifice. Next. A, B, C, D, E formula. A for association, B for books, C for chanting, D for the thing that we love the most, khana, and E for engagement or service. And oftentimes this point is made that why should I serve? Arey, mujhe kya milega? You see, it's the nature of love to serve. The mother doesn't think twice to serve her child. Where there is love, there will be service. The byproduct of love is service. When you love someone, you will naturally want to serve. The wife wants to serve the husband wants to serve the wife. It goes back and forth. Where there is love, service comes naturally there. Likewise, when someone loves God, naturally there is an inclination to serve. Association, books, chanting, diet, and engagement, seva. Next. Yes. Can someone read this? Someone who has not read. Yes.
The man who has escaped these 3 gates of hell, lust, anger, greed, O son of Purvi, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destiny.
This is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 22. So you see, starts with spiritual knowledge, That spiritual knowledge gives you sense control of not engaging in meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. That brings in austerity. You start controlling your senses. That brings in austerity. Now, there is a natural inclination to study the scriptures. And then you accept a teacher, someone who can train you and guide you more on this path as to how you can once and for all stop the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. What's next? Next. Yes. Can you read this? Now, this is one-time solution, permanent solution to all our problems. Krishna himself in the Gita is saying, someone who comes back to me by following the ABCDE principle, A for association, B for books, C for chanting God's name, D for a proper diet, not meat eating, proper diet, and E is service or engagement. Someone who follows this, Krishna himself in the Gita 8th chapter, he says he comes back to me. And once he comes back to me, there's no more solution. There's no more problems. So what did we discuss here? We spoke about the 4 defects. We spoke about how science gives only a temporary solution. And we spoke about a Vedic perspective of a permanent solution. We spoke about the ABCDE, which is the permanent solution. And we gave references as to how once someone goes to Krishna or goes to God, doesn't come back. As a summary, 4 real problems: birth, death, old age, disease. 3-fold miseries: problems by the mind, problems by other living entities, and problems by natural disasters. Scientific solutions, which is like a patch-up work or temporary solutions. And the Vedic wisdom, which gives a permanent solution. We spoke about the law of karma, the instant and delayed. What are the sinful activities? What are the 4 things that need to be restricted? And what is the ABCD formula by which one can go back to God and there is no more taking birth. There's no more death. There's no more disease. There's no more old age. So with this, we end here. In our next session, we will be speaking on what is the practical thing that we can do in this age. We are all working. We all have a 9-to-5 job. What is the practical thing that as a youth that I can do by which I can attain what Krishna has given in the Bhagavad Gita? So thank you all for coming. Next session will be via Zoom because of logistical issues. It will be via Zoom. So you can be wherever you are and you can attend. And we will speak on the practical aspect of how we can do it every single day at our home. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. I don't know whether we have time for questions, but we can till the time they set up. Yes. Oh, all set up. While eating, maybe we can discuss.
The example of the child losing his parents in the mall has been very well explained, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.